Last question. What do you think about sunglasses? I've heard that they lead to sunburns, but I can't easily find evidence. For what it's worth, a few years ago, I stopped wearing them and also stopped eating seed oil. I stopped getting sunburns and even sun rash, PolyMorphous Light Eruption. My eyes were seriously sensitive to sunlight before due to many brain injuries, but I decided to gradually increase my exposure because eyes are designed for sunlight. It helped also that I stopped using LED lights at home. I still can't tolerate them. Thanks. Love you guys. So I have not delved into what clinical or scientific evidence there might be. Yep. Based on evolutionary thinking and having been a giant fan of sunglasses in the past and having been mildly mocked by my excellent field assistant in Madagascar, who was British by birth but had grown up a diplomat brat in Burkina Faso and Swaziland and Madagascar, she said, man, you Americans are always wearing sunglasses. And at the time, I was like, we are practically at the equator, on the water. The sun is so bright. Why would you not? But it stuck with me, this critique. I was like, this just feels like Brits trying to get at Americans for being cool or something. But then at the point a couple of years ago when we started thinking more holistically about sunlight in general, never having been a fan of sunscreen, particularly, but never, I at least, I'd never been a fan of sunscreen, tried not to use it, and I'm lucky I didn't need to use it much, but had never thought much about sunglasses. It seemed actually you're messing with your visual system's ability to inform your body about what the experiences your body is experiencing, badly said, but right now are. That is, your eyes taking in the sun that your skin is also taking in will allow your skin to adapt in real time to the degree that it can to the level of sun exposure you're actually getting. And if you dial that back with regard to sunglasses, you may truly be more likely to burn. And while I don't tend to burn and so have not experienced a difference in burning since I have been not wearing sunglasses much, anecdotally, I've heard this from other people as well. And I feel that walking around without sunglasses, and we've both been spending a lot of time hiking outside this summer. I do feel like I'm more awake, I'm more in tune with what is going on environmentally without the sunglasses.
All right. You were a huge fan of sunglasses. I was a fan of huge sunglasses. You remember?
No.
Yeah, that didn't happen. But it would have been cool. In a kind of an Elton John sort of a way. No, but...
I'm glad you're not Elton John.
Yeah, me too. Me too, for lots of reasons. I mean, not that I don't appreciate the guy, I do. But anyway, back to sunglasses.
Sure.
I would say it is exactly analogous to sunscreen in the following sense. I believe you should be heavily biased against sunglasses, but there are circumstances in which it's an absolute must. I believe you should have them in your car because that road that you're looking into, you could kill somebody because you can't afford to look directly in the direction that the road leaves you no opportunity to look away from. You need sunglasses. A boat, it's even worse, right? Just the degree to which you can get into a very dangerous situation because you can't look in the direction you have to look in. It's a must. But in general, just because it's sunny out, no. And, you draw an interesting connection. Does the body know something about the level of sunlight through your eyes that allows it to protect itself from burning? That's a cool hypothesis.
I would actually put money on that being true.
Never occurred to me, but it makes sense that it might be true. But there are lots of other things that are true too. Is there some analog to, the health of your body as your skin is exposed to sunlight and makes vitamin D? Is there an analog to this going on in your eyes? Very likely. Is there... Are
your eyes going to be healthier with exposure to sunlight? Almost certainly, yes.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
Your calibration of what time of day it is, 100%. So anyway, there's lots of reasons to think that the evolved relationship with your eyes, between your eyes and sunlight, is the healthiest one. That said, driving a car, driving a boat, these are not part of your evolutionary history. And so you may need, just as there are circumstances that you get into where you do need sunscreen because you can't do the thing that behaviorally allows you to substitute for it.
And in a car, unlike most of life, you do need to stay in your lane, right? Like you just don't have the access to be like, oh, I need to not be walking in this direction right now. I know I want to get over there, but I'm going to do it by heading for the copse of trees and then walking through the forest, right? So if the road is the road, you have no choice. In a boat, you have more options, but not full options.
Yes, I admit that your point about having to stay in your lane while driving makes me like driving less, just instantly. I will also just finally say,
I mean, unless there's some Susie's mopeds in your lane, in which case you should wait for a good passing opportunity.
Just get the hell around those things.
Yeah.
Years ago, I was co-teaching with a guy who went on, like so many of our colleagues, to be a profound disappointment during the Troubles.
See, now I have no idea who you're talking about because it could be almost anyone.
Yeah, that's true. It was pretty much everybody. But anyway, he brought something to the teaching partnership, which I had never seen. It was a movie about some Inuit guys, and I've forgotten what the central conflict of the thing was that made it narratively interesting and all. It was a good film. But
Inuit conflict.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the film, the Inuits were wearing like sunglasses that were like bone and made into louvers. So they were sunglasses that could have existed for 1,000 years.
Yeah. Well, snow's another
Absolutely. The point.
potentially deadly source of.
Oh yeah, you can burn your retinas and there's no escaping it. And so anyway, I guess what I was intrigued to think was that there's an ancient sunglasses analog that does not involve needing something transparent enough to be, optically valid. It involves, like a pergola for your eyes.
Yeah.
And so I think at the time when I saw the movie, I thought it might be a fanciful rendering, but I think it may actually be a real thing. I should look into it now that AI will make it easier to track down. But anyway, there may be an analog to people in a very unusual, extreme human circumstance using an analog for sunglasses. But sparing use, I think, is the right approach.
So I just see in the chat here, Hollywood. You must have sunglasses in Hollywood. And I think actually some of what I have liked sunglasses for is that people can't see my eyes. Is that when I'm walking in crowds, I like to have sunglasses on if I'm in that mood, which I often am. Of like I want to be able to watch without being watched. And obviously the whole rest of me can be seen, but eyes are windows to the soul and all that. And just like I remember discovering when we were at Santa Cruz, and because apparently never rained once in my childhood in LA, but like I remember discovering the rains that are seasonal and relatively light and persistent in Santa Cruz, how much I really enjoyed a rainy day walking around campus. I was like, oh, I have an umbrella and I walk around cloaked effectively. And like I'm walking and I'm watching and I'm observing, but there's no way in. I'm 100% not on display.
Yep.
And so the sunglasses feels like a bit of a costume, a little bit of an obscuring, like actually you can't inherently see everything you would need to see to know what it is that I'm doing. And the sunglasses that I do have now that I use rarely are so light. So I have defaulted to a pair of sunglasses that I like, that I have in the car, that I use, when I feel that I need to. But the lenses are so pale that you can still see my eyes. So they really don't offer that little benefit that I think may be part of what people are doing in Hollywood when they're just trying to be obscuring their
eyes. Yeah. I've had a very dissatisfying relationship with my last several pairs of sunglasses. It just feels like the world is not as clear through them. And, my feeling is I don't want to deal with anything optical that isn't perfectly clear.
Yeah, you may have to pay You remember the one time that I paid big for sunglasses. I then had them on top of my head when I was climbing for a lizard in Panama, and they fell off my head and cracked. It's like, that's it. I don't deserve good sunglasses. So I have not purchased myself another good pair of sunglasses.
Well, it used to be that there were things like glass glasses, and glass is really a much better thing to make an optical quality lens out of. But anyway, in looking, all the sunglasses that I have suck, and I don't like them, and I was wondering if I had been finicky, and then I found a pair of sunglasses, frankly, that I had stopped using years ago because they have a metal frame, and when I put them on top of my head, they catch my hair. It's like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
But I put them on because they're the lightest pair I've got, and they're so clear.
Okay.
So
I wondered where those had come from. Like, I felt like I remembered them, and you've been wearing them now. And okay.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, I need to find a set that's as clear as this without the hair catching aspect of it.
Yeah, that's a frustrating thing that sunglasses do.
It is.
Yeah.